Have you put yourself in the shoes of our youngsters recently? Well, I have, and it's a scary place to be. I regularly see 16 to 22-year-olds, and you'd be amazed at the number of times that the concept of a midlife crisis at 20 comes up. Here's what they see. They see record levels of youth unemployment. They see rocketing levels of obesity, alcohol and drug dependency, rampant stress, anxiety, depression. They see failing government systems in education, in health. They see big businesses failing us left, right, and centre, particularly the banking industry letting us down. They see a complete breakdown of trust and community, and shallow materialist aspirations and celebrity worship. And they see no leadership in society, no role models. In fact, they're leaving the education system and walking into a moral and purposeless vacuum. That's how they see it. Now, when I was a kid, when I were a lad, we respected our elders, we respected our teachers, we respected the police, we respected the banks. And funnily enough, I remember my dad taking me by the hand at the age of 8 and to go in and open up my first bank account in Stratford-on-Avon and actually meeting the bank manager. Where's that gone? Business was about people, it wasn't about numbers. I mean, you'd even got companies like Cadbury's who were building houses for their employees. And then the church, well, the church is now in decline. In my day as a kid, whether you believed in God or not, the church was actually a force that gave a direction in society. But it seems to be in terminal decline now in the UK and not really reaching the needs of adults, let alone youngsters. So where's the leadership for the next generation? Where are the role models? And here's a clue. It's not the C-list celebrities. It's not the footballers. The problem is actually our educational system. Not the teachers, who increasingly are having a more and more impossible task, and there are loads of brilliant teachers out there totally committed to their work. It's the system. You see, the issue that we're not handling is the speed of change, the rapid speed of change in our modern world. If you compare the life of a 20-year-old now compared with the life of a 20-year-old in the 70s and 80s, it's a fundamentally different world. And the problem is that our education system hasn't changed a jot. Effectively, we're still teaching exactly what we were teaching 100 years ago, let alone 20 or 30 years ago. So what needs to change? Well, if you stand back and take a look at our education system, actually it's mad. We spend years teaching our kids maths, science, French, English, geography, history and so on, and we teach them nothing about life. It's crazy. I think in our day the thought was that our parents would teach us what we needed to know and the rest of it we just pick up along the way. Well, I'm not actually sure that worked 40 years ago when I was a kid, let alone now. So that's what Life School is about. Life School is designed to fill the gap, is to equip our kids, our youngsters, with the life skills they need to cope with life in the 21st century. That's the speed of change, it's the uncertainty, and just how to live. So life skills, or life school rather, will teach self-awareness, self-esteem, how the mind works, how we think, how we create our reality. And it will show youngsters their own preferred method of learning. It'll show them their values, what's important to them in their life, give them a sense of purpose in their life. It'll help them learn how to build and retain relationships, how to create leadership and teams, and also cover the critical societal topics that don't really get covered properly at the moment, like equality, diversity, community, drugs, mental and physical abuse at home and at work. It'll also look at internet business. Now, the problem with, for a lot of the kids, is they're leaving school and they're facing unemployment, which, let's face it, is not a great start to adult life. And one of the problems is actually, once they're on the benefit system, it more or less shuts off the opportunity they've got to set their own business up. Because once they set a business up and they start to earn money, they get to a certain threshold, and obviously they've got to they've got to declare it, and their benefits will stop. And at that point, they still don't know whether the business is going to be successful or not, so they don't even look at it. Well, one of the great things about business opportunities now, compared with 30, 40 years ago, is the internet. And the barriers to entry on an internet business are practically zero. Not only that, our kids are leaving school pretty IT literate, most of them. So the opportunities for youngsters to set up an internet business is vast. Not only that, they can set something up that they enjoy, that they're passionate about, make a real difference in their lives. So part of the idea of Life School is to create a fund that will replace the benefits for these youngsters for a period of 6 months while they build up their business. They have a mentoring process with the life coaches. They build their own business up, and then when they're ready, they pay that money back. When they're earning enough money, they pay their funding back so that it can go on to somebody else. The target audience for Life School is twofold. Firstly, there's the kids who are still in education, the 14 to 18-year-olds. Then there are the 18 to 22-year-olds who've actually left the educational system and are currently unemployed. And the Life School team would be a mixture of two things. There would be a team of fully qualified life coaches who will actually teach the kids life skills, both in a workshop environment and a one-to-one environment. And then a street theatre company that would go into schools and handle the difficult topics like diversity, like alcoholism, drug abuse, physical, mental abuse, that sort of thing that's very difficult to tackle within the mainstream curriculum. The venue would be effectively an office complex with a lecture theatre that would double up as a music and a drama venue. There would be lots of little smaller offices for one-to-one coaching sessions. There'd be a personal development and a career library with Wi-Fi access and a coffee shop. And the qualifications that we'd be looking to provide would be at a lower level, a simple diploma in life skills and internet business. At a higher level, a degree in life skills and internet business. And then finally, a master's in 21st century leadership. The expected outcomes? Well, whilst there is a limited number of youngsters who could actually go through Life School, especially in a pilot phase, the effect that those kids could have on society goes far wider than that. There's something that's called the 3 degrees of separation. It's statistically proven that when we're feeling happier and more confident, that our friends will be feeling happier and more confident, even though we may never have met those people. Now, if that sounds a bit way out there, explain to me what happened in August 2012 with the Olympics. We were in the middle of the recession. The financial situation was still pretty dire. We were struggling, and then the view was that London was going to come to a standstill with the traffic. Within days, the whole nation lit up. You couldn't fail to notice what was going on. People were happier. Retail spending went up dramatically. That's the effect of the 3 degrees of separation. So these kids going through Life Schools would just act as ripples, really, to set off an increasing awareness, confidence and happiness amongst their peers. So the effect could go far wider.